We are wrapping up Day 3 coverage of the 2014 NCAC Swimming and Diving Championships here from the campus of Denison University. Day 3 got underway this morning with a number of exciting prelim swims. We headed into the finals tonight as the events got underway on Friday evening in front of a sold-out Trumbull Aquatic Center here. The first event of the evening was the 200 medley relay. In the men's race, Denison took home first place with a time of 1:30.17, while Kenyon took home second, and DePauw touched the wall in third. In the men's race, it was Kenyon who took home the event in a time of 1:41.93, getting things started off for a strong evening for the ladies. Denison took home second, while the Wittenberg Tigers finished third. The first individual event of the evening was the men's 400 IM. Golden, Colorado native Andrew Savalier of Kenyon took home the title. The senior touched the wall in a new meet record time of 3:54.18, as the Lords took the top 3 spots in the event. In the women's 400 IM, Denison junior Michelle Howell took home first place honors, dropping 4+ seconds from her prelim time this morning, finishing first this evening in a time of 4:24 flat. The Big Red went 1-2 in the event. After the swim, the native of Albuquerque, New Mexico, had a chance to talk about her race.
It's a lot harder than the morning swim, a lot more heart needed to go into it, and I would say the hardest leg is that last 100 free to bring it home, and we were able to come in 1-2, so that was great.
Well, you mentioned much harder than the morning swim. Obviously, in the finals, the intensity cranks up, the crowd gets into it. Does that really help come finals time? When you're trying to drop that time, you did a very good job this evening, dropping almost 4 seconds from this morning. Does that atmosphere really help build your intensity in the finals?
It does, and I think our team has the biggest presence on deck, and it helps so much to have the support before the race, and during the race you can breathe and see just a wall of red and pom-poms, and you really can hear and see, and it makes a huge difference from just a regular in-season dual meet.
And finally, swimming at home, you talked a little bit about the atmosphere, but how much fun has it been for not only yourself but for your teammates as well to come here, perform in your home pool in front of all your home fans, not only your teammates here to support you, but friends that are on campus as well? How exciting has that been for you guys?
It's been great. I would say being in our home pool has been really comfortable for us all, and being able to have several of our friends and student body come is great, and it's been nice to have it close to home, sleep in our beds, and it's been definitely an advantage for us.
Event 17, the men's 100 butterfly, saw sophomore Christian Josephson of the Kenyon Lords touch the wall in an NCAA B-cut time of 48.62. The sophomore, a native of Cincinnati, Ohio, had a chance to talk about his impressive performance after the swim.
My coach told me just to go out smooth, and he knew I'd have a better back half. So I took it out smooth, like he said, and he said I executed it perfectly.
You had a great swim at prelims this morning, but I know for all swimmers that come back in the evening for finals, you want to improve on that time from prelims. You were able to cut into from your prelim time this morning. You just talk about how you were able to sort of perform well this morning, but then rest up and come back and have a strong showing for not only you individually, but for Kenyon as well.
Yeah, I don't know. We're here to race, so that's what I did. Yeah, I'm usually a morning swimmer, and I don't really know how to perform at finals, but I got up and raced.
Conference championship, a really exciting atmosphere. It's packed house there in the Trumbull Aquatic Center. Talk about how exciting it is to race in front of this type of atmosphere. Your teammates obviously pulling for you, lots of fans in the stands. What's this atmosphere been like for you?
The atmosphere is great. I like it a lot better than Canton. Since swimming in Ohio, I was always in Canton for high school swimming, and it's great here. It's closer. Students from Kenyon can come watch us. It's a lot closer than Canton. It's great. I love it.
In the women's 100 fly, freshman Courtney McGovern of the College of Worcester touched the wall in a time of 56.36 to earn the Fighting Scots' first women's individual title since 2005. The Sebastian, Florida native, who swam an NCAA B-cut in just her first NCAC meet, had a chance to talk about her impressive performance for the Fighting Scots after the event.
Absolutely. I don't know. All I can say is I was really, really nervous beforehand when my teammates Morgan was in the heat before me, and she was in warm-up with me telling me, just don't think about it. You're going to do fine. And I mean, honestly, I didn't realize I won it. I just looked at the time and was really happy because it was the best time, and then I looked at the place and was ecstatic. I couldn't believe it. So.
Courtney, first individual women's win for Worcester since 2005. Just talk about what it means to represent the College of Worcester and pick up a win for your college.
It's so exciting. I mean, my teammates are awesome. I'm so happy I could do that for them, and my coach. They're always really supportive, and I mean, they were behind the blocks the whole time, so I'm really happy I could do that for them. And my sister's on the team too, so I mean, I couldn't be happier.
And finally, Courtney, I know there was a little disappointment after this morning's prelim race, but you came back to this finals. You dropped your time from prelim and also picked up the win, which obviously was quite an accomplishment. Talk about swimming well this morning, even with the disappointment, be able to come out this evening in the final and pick up the victory. I know every coach, every swimmer is always trying to look to cut that time. How important was that for you this evening?
Very important, because this morning it was a best prelims swim ever, best time, but I knew I could do better, and so coming back tonight, it was really important to me to get that drop, and because I'm trying as hard as I can to make nationals. So, in
the men's 200 freestyle, Denison senior Carlos Maciel earned his second individual title of the NCAC championships, touching the wall in a time of 1:38.43. I caught up with the Recife, Brazil native and asked him about his winning performance.
Yeah, this morning it hurt a lot, and I had to figure something out not to hurt as bad, and I also had to drop time. I was the only guy from from Denison, I'm sorry, in the final heat, and we have like 5 other guys from Kenyon in there, so I just, it's our turf. I had to hold it, and so I went out there, and I went fully on feeling, and it hurt just as bad, but it was out of heart, I guess.
Carlos, I think the 200 free is a really interesting race because it's a fast, long race, if that makes sense. You can lose it if you get out there too quickly, but also if you're a little behind, there's plenty of time to make up ground in the end. So just talk about your strategy in the 200 free. You look very comfortable. As you said last night when I had a chance to talk to you, you love getting on that freestyle and getting in a rhythm. So talk about your strategy in the 200 free and in your win this evening.
Yeah, tonight I tried to go what we call easy speed in the first 50. And that worked out well, and tried to pick it up a little bit in the rhythm, and especially the tempo of my stroke in the second 50. The third 50, for me, I just go. I just unleash everything I have. And I know that the fourth 50 is just, you have to try to keep your stroke. You have to try to keep your feel of the water. This morning I lost that. I was just skipping water, just taking strokes for strokes. And tonight I really got my catch going together, and I just finished. I just gave it all ahead.
And finally, Carlos, you mentioned this morning in prelims, it was painful. You kind of struggled through it, but able to put up a time and get yourself in position for the finals tonight. How much does the atmosphere really help push you, even when maybe you're not feeling your best physically, to come out and put together a really good performance like you did this evening?
It helps a lot. You do it for the team, you do it for the guys in the stands, you do it for your friends. I don't have any family here, but for the other families, other swimmers, I have professors who came to watch me, which is pretty great. I have professors timing the meet, and I feel more comfortable. I feel like I'm home. I don't have to worry about anything. It feels more natural.
In the women's 200 free, Kenyon senior Hillary Yarish earned one of the ladies' 3 individual titles, touching the wall in a time of 1:49.62, dropping her time from the fastest prelim swim of the morning. Junior Damon Rosenberg of Denison picked up his 3rd straight victory in the men's 100-yard breaststroke tonight, setting a new meet record in a time of 54.66. The Leesburg, Virginia native talked about his conference meet record after the swim.
It was really important to me. It's one of those things, like, you have it running, might as well continue it. And I felt really confident coming in, especially after the success I had at Miami. So, yeah, it was one of those things that it feels great to do. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think I've still gotten over it.
54.66. You already hold the national record. Tonight you broke the NCAC meet record, dropping from your prelim swim this morning. How important was it for swimmers to come back in the finals and drop from that prelim swim, and also the honor to now hold, again, the NCAC meet record?
So prelims, honestly, I think prelims are more important than finals. Yeah, finals is better. It's late in the afternoon. Your body's more ready. You're going to drop time. But in the prelims, if you don't set yourself up, you don't get in the bigs, you don't get in the finals that you need to be, you're not going to score as many points as you need. And I think I really set myself up well in prelims, And being in that position, I knew I was going to drop time in finals, and all just fell together.
An exciting atmosphere in finals. It's always going to be exciting in a conference championship at a finals, but for the Big Red, for you guys to be here in your home meet, not only to have obviously your teammates and parents and family and friends, but to have your guys that are on campus, your friends that you see walking to class every day, you sit in class with, to be able to look up in the stands and see them cheering on. How exciting is that, not only for you, but for the team as well?
Oh, it makes it way more exciting. The pool's louder, everyone's cheering for you. There's just a whole different atmosphere here than there was at Canton.
And finally, heading into the final day of competition tomorrow, what will be important for the Big Red to have a good closing out finish and really propel, try and continue to gain momentum as you guys look forward to hopefully national swims as well?
In order to, for conference, prelims. And for nationals, it's just making those times, making those cuts. I mean, we have great potential. I'm really looking forward to it.
In the women's 100 breast event, it was sophomore Katie Kessner of the Kenyon College Ladies who picked up the victory. Kessner touched the wall in a time of 1:03.22. The Washington State native had a chance to talk about her impressive performance after the race.
I definitely could have done a lot of things better, but I'm not upset with the time. Come nationals, I'll be able to taper more and fix these things that I wanted to fix. So I think it's good. I'm in a good place.
In breaststroke, there seems to be a really important rhythm depending on what type of stroke you have, and it looks so simple from the stands. But what are some of those key little things in terms of getting in that rhythm, in terms of making sure you're hitting it on stride at the turns and everything that are important that in the stands we don't see, but as a swimmer are very important to a successful time?
I have a hard time getting into the rhythm right off the bat from the first 25, which I still need to work on. I kind of take a while to get into gear. It usually probably takes around the second 25. But, yeah, that's definitely a thing. Some people are good at kicking into gear, and those people are good at 50s as well because they can just get up and go. But, yeah, I just need to work on this.
The atmosphere in the finals in the evenings at a conference championship is very different than prelims, very different than I'm sure probably a lot of meets throughout the course of the season. Talk about sort of the energy that as a swimmer you really vibe off of and sort of maybe find an extra leg when it comes to finals evening that really pushes you through when maybe you're feeling a little bit tired after an impressive prelim swim in the morning.
Finals, the atmosphere comes from the teammates, or swims of your teammates before you. I feed off of those so much. Especially in this last relay, I saw everyone stand up and just going crazy, and I really fed off of that, and it helps a lot mentally to just clear your mind, know that your teammates are there to back you up.
Katie, individually a very successful day for you, but day 3 was very successful for Kenyon as a whole, both on the men's and women's sides. I think 6 individual winners, a couple of relay winners, very impressive today from the Lords and Ladies. How important was day 3 to come in and not only impress individually, but as a team as a whole, really pick up some ground in terms of points moving into the final day tomorrow?
I think we're really relaxed and stable and steady, and yeah, I think we're in a really good place. We aren't overthinking things. We're just taking it one session at a time. It shows. In
the final individual events of the evening, the 100-yard backstroke, Harrison Curley picked up the win on the men's side. The Kenyon College junior had an impressive NCAA B-cut time. After the race, I had a chance to catch up with the Orlando, Florida native and asked him about his impressive performance.
Thanks. Well, this morning I was out a little bit faster than I should have been. I just kind of took it out and decided to go for it. Tonight, Jess Book, our coach, told me to try and ease into that first 25 and then really see what I could do in the last little bit of it, and I did, and it turned out for the best, so I'm pretty happy with it.
Harrison, an impressive swim this morning at prelims. You said you came out a little faster maybe than you like, but you were able to come back in the evening and swim faster. How important is that for swimmers really to continue to build their confidence as meets go on throughout the course of the 3 days to continue to improve? And obviously in the finals you want to do your best.
Yeah, of course. It's extremely important to keep your confidence up, especially as everyone starts to get tired towards the meets end. The third day is always extremely tough on everyone mentally, so keeping your confidence and your willpower up and coming together as a team is extremely important, and being able to come back and swim faster at finals is always a huge boost, so it's just I don't know. It's great to do that.
Individually, an outstanding day for you today, picking up a conference championship, but really a big day as a team for both the Lords and the ladies. I believe 6 individual winners. Talk about how impressed you were with the team effort on I guess, day 3 now of the NCAC championships.
I loved it. It's so much fun being on the Kenyon team. We have a great support system for each other, and everyone's always pumped for anyone to swim, and everyone has been swimming so well that it just makes it like one of the most fun meets that you can be at. And the competition is great too, being able to have that rivalry with Denison and have DePaul and so many other teams swim so well. It fires you up too. So really the entire atmosphere and being able to be supported so well is it's amazing. It's an amazing thing to have.
On the women's side of the 100-yard backstroke, it was Kenyon's Cecilia Oberholzer who took home tonight's win. Oberholzer swam it in a time of 55:35 as Kenyon went 1-2 in the event. After the race, the Cincinnati native had a chance to talk about her impressive NCAA B-cut time.
Yeah. My time this morning was a little bit slower than I went in the relay yesterday, and it hurt really, really bad. I think I just got a little bit too excited. And so my goal for tonight was just to relax on the first 50 and then bring it home, which is what I try to do best. So it felt a lot better tonight than it did this morning, so I was really happy with that.
So in the backstroke, swimming a little bit blind, obviously, you make it look so easy, but to our people, to the fans listening and watching, talk about the importance and the timing of each and every turn and how you approach them and how important that is in order to swim such a successful race.
Yeah, it's weird because like my taper stroke is a lot different than my non-taper stroke, so my stroke count and my for each lap and my turns are a little bit like weird at this meet. So I've been, over the past 4 100 backstrokes that I've done in the past 2 days, I've been like trying to work that out, and it's definitely, I don't know, it's definitely important. Like yesterday I was a little bit too far off my walls, and then I don't know, sometimes you do too many kicks or not enough kicks, or you pop up at a weird angle. So like I've been trying to work on that a lot, and I think that was my major critique for my coaches. So that's what I'm going to be looking to work on in the next few weeks.
As the meet goes on and it gets later into competition, the intensity, the atmosphere continues to grow in excitement. Talk about tonight's atmosphere. A lot of fans, students able to come over from Kenyon, and obviously all your teammates there to support. How exciting is that to swim in an atmosphere like this?
It's great, and I don't know, I love being here. I've been like very happy at this meet, and the whole team has just been swimming very well. So it's been just very high energy, and it's been amazing. And it was kind of fun to be the last event because it was after a whole session of great swims. So
after the backstroke events concluded, the entire packed house of Trumbull Aquatic Center turned its attention to the diving well tonight as Denison junior Connor Dignan completed a sweep of the boards, winning the 1-meter competition with a score of 578.70. Dignan talked about his impressive performance after his dives.
It's been a really good weekend. I'm pretty excited. This morning in prelims, one of our freshmen, Max Levy, he got me by about 5 points, and I remember we were coming into finals, and I just kind of met with everybody, and we just said, you know what, we don't care how these places ended up. We just won to have a great show, and it really was. Everyone just dove lights out. It was phenomenal.
After the 3-meter on Wednesday, the prelims, you went right through. You qualified as the top heading into the finals of the 3-meter board. Tonight, as you said, freshman Max Levy was the top qualifier in prelims, and you were the second best coming into the finals. Does your mindset mentally approach at all change, not being the top qualifier heading into finals, or is it something you just continue to focus on what you do and keep in that rhythm and let the rest of it play out as it did?
It did at first. It did. The time, well, on Wednesday we didn't have much time between prelims and finals, but I mean going in after I was able to break that record in prelims, and then I was going in the top seed. I remember my senior Al White kind of came over. He's just like, you can just do it, relax. You know, like there's nothing else that you need to try and do at this point. And it was, and I ended up improving quite a bit. Today, it was a little nerve-wracking during the time in between prelims and finals. It made me hungry, very hungry. It made everybody hungry. But then when we came down, everybody just kind of just took a step back and relied on what they knew how to do and just kind of turned their brains off for a little bit.
On Wednesday, you guys were the only show in the pool, and the crowd was fun. But tonight, I have to imagine it was really exciting as the entire aquatic center turned their attention to the diving well and before the final swimming race. How much fun was it tonight to be in front of this type of atmosphere, and not only to be at home, but to really all eyes were on you and the rest of your teammates and everyone that was diving in the finals of the one you did?
It was great. I mean, like, I know our entire team loves it, you know, when the swim team comes down and when everybody's cheering on, and, you know, they go crazy when that's really when we dive our best, everybody. And not just, you know, our team, every diver dives their best when you have a bunch of people watching. We're showmen. So it was really good. And then, you know, being at home, it feels really good for all 6 of us in finals because, you know, we were really able to defend that type of sense of honor that we have. You know, this is where we train. This is our home. It really is. And for us to be able to sweep that on both boards was phenomenal.
And finally, Connor, you talk about being a showman. Take me through that last dive. I know as you got to the board, you sort of knew where you were in terms of the standings, and you knew if you hit that last dive, you were going to sweep the boards and be a 2-time NCAC championship this week. You absolutely nailed it. Take me through that final dive. When you popped out of the water, I know your emotions were pretty incredible. What was that experience like? And then just to look up and see your teammates as how excited they were for you, I know that had to have been special.
It was phenomenal. I mean, that dive especially, it was a 107C, a front 3.5. I've been struggling with it all season long. I don't think I've scored above a 6 on it or a 6.5 on it in a mock meet, 6 in an official meet. And after Ben Lewis went right before me and just put away his front 1.5 double twister, I kind of looked over to our senior diver, Matt Poulos, and I was just like, that inspired me. I was like, I want to do something great on this one. And I took quite a while there on the video. You know, I was standing for quite some time, and finally I was just like, got to go eventually. And the minute I felt my hands touch the water and I saw the board behind me, it kind of froze. And at that point I knew that I was able to put it away. And then coming up and hear our whole team screaming it was pretty sweet. I love that.
The final event of the evening was the 800 free relay. On the men's side, Kenyon took home first in a time of 6:39.94, while DePaul finished second and Denison took home third. In the women's race, Kenyon picked up the win in a time of 7:27.66, while Denison touched the wall in second and DePaul finished third. As the 800 free relay came to a close, that wrapped up all of Day 3's events from the Trumbull Aquatic Center. Let's take a look at the final scores as we head into tomorrow's final day of the NCAC Swimming and Diving Championships, first on the men's side. In first place heading in tomorrow's final event day, Denison stands atop the pack with a 1,460 score. Kenyon's in second with 1,350. DePaul stands in third with a score of 792.5. Wabash sits in fourth with 625 points. At 474 points, Oberlin finds itself in fifth. Ohio Wesleyan sits in sixth with 455.5 points. Wittenberg in seventh with 442 points. Worcester at 316 is in eighth place with 312 points. Allegheny is in ninth, and in 10th place, Hiram with 147 points. On the women's side, Kenyon sits in first place with 1,234 points. Denison in second with 1,208. DePaul sits in third with 739 points. Worcester finds itself in fourth with 582. Wittenberg in fifth, 557 points. At 507 points, Oberlin's in sixth. Allegheny in seventh with 444 points, while Ohio Wesleyan is in eighth with 313, and Hiram is in ninth with 163 points. Again, that wraps up Day 3 of the 2014 NCAC Swimming and Diving Championships on the campus of Denison University inside the beautiful Trumbull Aquatic Center. Make sure you follow along all of the action at www.northcoast.org, as well as follow us on Twitter at NCAC. Tomorrow, Day 4, the final day of the NCAC competition, gets started in the morning with an exciting prelim event starting at 10 a.m., Then be sure to come back for tomorrow's senior ceremony starting at 6:15, followed by the finals, which gets underway at 6:30. Again, I am Russell Kramer of the North Coast Athletic Conference. For all of us at the conference office, we thank you, and we hope you have enjoyed our coverage of the 2014 NCAC Swimming and Diving Championships.